the rights of religious minorities. A dramatic example of this is one that hits very close to our homes and our hearts. 6 weeks ago in Lahore, the world witnessed a brutal crime against humanity when armed gunmen massacred 86 members of our minority community and injured hundreds more. But this wasn't a random act of religious violence in Pakistan. This was a direct byproduct of decades of state-sponsored, institutionalized persecution of religious minorities. Pakistan is the only Muslim country in the world to explicitly define who is or is not a Muslim for purposes of the law. It is the only Muslim country in the world to have a constitutional amendment that denies the right of a minority Muslim community to call itself Muslim. It is the only Muslim country in the world to criminalize fundamental religious practices by punishment of death. It is the only Muslim country in the world to require its passport applicants to declare a minority community to be non-Muslim. How would the Prophet of Islam, Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, react to this state of affairs? Would he even recognize Pakistan as an Islamic nation? What would he say to the so-called Muslims who sent teenagers to Lahore to bomb hundreds of worshippers during Friday prayers? To the so-called Muslims who burned alive 11 Christians in Godhra last year? To the so-called Muslims last month who bombed the Sufi religious shrine? What would he say to these people? The same Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, who vigorously defended the rights of the oppressed, the orphans, and the minorities. The same Prophet who gave refuge to a Christian delegation at his own mosque in Medina. The same Prophet who wrote a constitution in defense of the Jews and Arabs at his time. The same Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, who said that differences of opinion and diversity are blessings in society. When will Pakistan heed the example of the founder of Islam?
Nara Takbir! Hazrat Khatamul Anbiya, Mohsin-e Insaniyat, Rahmatul lil Alameen, Nara Takbir!
I wanted to turn now to the last part of my speech, and that is our obligations as American Ahmadi Muslims. My dear brothers and sisters, we are proud to be American. We cherish and enjoy freedom of religion more than any other nation on earth. Our Constitution, the US Constitution, is more Islamic than the constitutions of Islamic nations. We are witnessing the erosion of religious freedom in the world. We witnessed our fellow Ahmadi Muslims massacred for practicing their faith. But Allah will never let the sacrifices of our Ahmadi martyrs go to waste. Their memories are alive in all of us. We must step forward and safeguard the original teachings of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. We are Muslims who believe in the Messiah, Hazrat Mirza Ghulam Ahmad of Qadian, who came to rescue Islam from the clutches of militancy. We must proclaim loudly that we are the protectors of Islam's original teachings. We believe in religious freedom for all people. We must not rest until the Islamic world rids itself of the laws that embolden those who kill the innocent and the vulnerable. To my fellow American Ahmadi Muslim youth who are here in attendance today, this is our time to rise up. This is our time. We have lived for many, many decades as second-generation immigrants in peace without any restriction on our Ahmadi faith. We enjoy freedoms that others do not. We must not sit idle and watch atrocities such as Lahore to continue unabated. We must heed the words of our Khalifa and carry the torch of religious freedom to our leaders and our lawmakers and demand a change in the Islamic world. I conclude with the exhortations of our beloved Hazrat Khalifatul Masih Rabi, Rahmahullah Ta'ala, who addressed the Ahmadis of North America at the Jalsa Salana in 1992. And I close with those words. He said, America or Canada ke Ahmadiyo, America or Canada ke Ahmadiyo, tum kab tak bairon ki libas mein zindagi basar karoge? Utho और इन लिबासों को चाक कर दो. तुम खुदा के शेर हो और शेरों की तरह दंदनाते हुए और गरजते हुए जंगलों पर फतेहयाब हो। बस खुदा तुम्हारे साथ हो, खुदा तुम्हारे साथ हो, खुदा तुम्हारे साथ हो।
इस्लाम, खिलाफत अहमदिया, खलीफतुल मसीह राबे, नारा तकबीर।
O Ahmadis of America and Canada, for how long will you remain in sheep's clothing? Wake up and discard that clothing. You are the lions of Allah, and like lions with might and tenacity, you must conquer the jungles ahead of you. May God be with you. May God be with you. May God be with you. May Allah give us lion-like courage to fight for religious freedom all over the world. Ameen.